Hello and welcome to Two Girls, One Pod featuring Tina. I'm Melissa.
I'm Crystal.
I'm Tina. You guessed it.
Who's left?
Process of elimination.
So as you probably know, because it is Sunday night, early Monday morning, we are doing the Big Brother 23 unofficial after show tonight. And we're going to recap episodes 18 and 19. The girls were just informed that they're going to recap 18 and 19.
No, I thought it was 19 and 20.
I only have notes for tonight's episode, so
Me too.
I'm gonna have to work on this aging memory of mine.
I'll carry them. It's fine. You got it.
I
All
missed-
the listeners, you don't need to turn it off. I got you.
All right.
She'll just talk.
I'll just talk. It'll be no different than any other week. I'll just go on and on and on, and the girls will be annoyed with me. Before I do start, I want to call you both out on a challenge.
Oh, what the fuck?
Because I didn't give them a heads up.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay.
oh, Tina, no, stop it. She's really good at freezing. If you're listening and you don't YouTube this, you should YouTube just to see her freezing because she does a really good freeze range.
So good at it.
Like one of these days, Sherry's just gonna walk behind you while you're frozen.
And I'm gonna be in freeze mode.
So okay, my challenge, because I've got a lot of memories coming up now on Facebook from last year. And last year I did a push-up challenge.
Oh,
Fuck that. I'm tapping out.
Tapped out.
Let me explain. Okay.
I can't do push-ups.
Me either.
But that's the whole point of the challenge, is so that at the end of it, you can do them. Because
Okay, so at the end of it, I can do one. Okay.
yes,
Right.
All right.
can you do
all
one of
right.
these?
Yeah.
Crystal,
Okay.
stop giving me that look. Doesn't have
I'm
to be
not
from your
doing
feet.
it.
Doesn't have to be from your feet. Here's what I was thinking. It's 30 days. I don't even want to finish the sentence now because you guys are going to hate me. It's 30 days to 50 push-ups.
What the fuck?
But you start, your day one is 6 and you can do them on your knees. You don't have to do them on your toes. But I was thinking we could all hold each other accountable, and it's not every single day. There's like a little chart, and I can set and we can put it on Instagram, and we can hold each other accountable to doing our push-ups every day.
All hands. Show of hands. Who's in favor for this?
Come on. Ladies,
No.
you suck.
It's
You
2
are
to 3.
stuck.
2 out of 3 ain't bad. And I say, no.
It's just 'cause you can't do them. You know,
It is because I can't do them. Because A, I can't do them. And B, even if I could do them, my shoulder does not allow me to, and I will fall flat on my face.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
C, fuck
Yeah.
that shit.
Yeah, I get the shoulder thing. That's fine. Yeah. Okay.
Hey, and I dislocated my shoulder like last year.
Oh,
You
yeah.
did. We heard the story.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how that's gonna affect my capabilities.
I'll do it on my own. I'll do it on my own.
Listen,
I just figured, since I'm training to be the future HOH for Big Brother Canada, maybe my girls would step it up and challenge
Okay,
me. But that's
but,
cool.
like,
I'll do it alone. That's fine.
could you maybe do some kind of challenge that doesn't involve our bum shoulders?
Well, you know what,
I got
Crystal?
bum shoulders too,
Crystal, I
though.
got an idea.
Okay.
She can do the push-up challenge,
Yeah.
and me and you will do the beer challenge. Like we'll work on our arm
I can
muscle,
do
and we'll just
biceps.
go back and forth, and that kind of doesn't look good on
Yeah.
the video right now. I need something in my hands. That did not look good, folks. Anyways, moving on.
Boy.
And that is why you should watch on YouTube.
Yeah. So anybody listening, Tina was doing a really funny motion with her hands. But you know what? You're not used to doing that motion. That's the problem. You didn't know it would look like that.
It's completely innocent for you.
It's not your fault.
Absolutely. I was legitimately talking about beer.
Yeah.
You're the ones that twisted that shit around.
That happens all the
That's
time.
our minds. That's where our
Anyways.
mind goes for everything. It's just
Moving on.
okay. Well, on that note, looks like I'll be doing the challenge by my fucking self. So we'll do a different
Squat challenge?
another day. What?
This is
The
a squat
what?
challenge? I can squat.
It's fine. Yeah, I'm not mad.
I mean, let me sleep on it. Let me sleep on it.
Not
I'll
me.
text you the chart. I'll text you the chart. Crystal, she'll get jealous though. If we do it, Tina, she'll jump
Oh,
in.
you think?
Nope.
Oh, you think she'll want to chime in on it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see the two of you pushing out push-ups, and I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna be like, you know what? That looks like a good fucking time. No.
Man, that's how I
No.
felt when I saw the old videos come up. I'm like, look at me doing 17 push-ups. Like that's a fucking, and
Yeah,
by the
you
end,
know what happened when I saw it?
barely.
I saw when we tried to do it last year, and I saw me do 6 push-ups on the first day and then none any day after that. And
Oh,
also
so
I
you-
suck at them.
You just got too in your head about it.
No, Jason got in my head because he was just like, what's wrong with you? Why can't you do push-ups? And I was like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. But you're not going to do them if you know what I mean? Like you have to practice doing them. I can't do push-ups because they don't do push-ups. All right, we'll circle back. We'll circle back. All of our listeners are going to be like, you guys should do this challenge. We want to see it. All 6 of them.
All right.
6 listeners.
You know what, Crystal? Goddamn well after this, she's going to go to Instagram, put a little story and say, should Tina and Crystal join in on the push-up challenge? Vote yes or no.
We'll get
And
at least 4
what's going to
votes.
fucking happen.
You're going to vote no, and I'm going to vote no from our account.
And then I'm going to have to go into my other account, my real estate page, and comment on her story.
And then I will go into my other 2 accounts and still vote more no.
Oh, I'm not winning this. All right, let's circle back to Big Brother.
Okay.
That's
That's why we're here.
We'll reconvene about push-ups another time.
I mean, she's
However,
the one who bombarded us with the whole push-up.
I
thing.
did.
It's her fault.
Because I thought if I put you guys on the spot, you'd say yes. I was very wrong. I know in the future that's not the way to go, but I'll still do it. And nothing has been learned here today. Nothing.
No, nothing.
So at the
Not a
start
thing.
of Big Brother on Thursday's eviction show. So that's where we're going. I thought it was episode 18. Crystal thinks
19.
It was 19. And she's probably right, even though she didn't watch it. But cool. Start of last week's episode. Kylie.
I don't have to watch in order to count.
I'm going back and counting.
I'm just going to look at my recorded
Send
shit.
us a message and let us know what number this is. 'Cause last week
Today's
I had it titled
episode
I
was
had it titled
20.
as 16 and 17.
Oh, so you're both way off.
No, I said it was 19 and 20. So Thursday was 19. Today was 20.
Oh,
I
okay.
still don't think you're right. Okay, so the start of last week's episode, Kyland. Oh yeah, you're on your app. All right, well, Global TV says that I'm wrong, and I'm not going to argue with them. Crystal. So the start of last week's episode, Claire was removed from nominations. So Kyland had his veto. He removed Claire, and he put up Brittany in her place. This is stuff that Crystal missed out on.
No, I saw that part.
Alyssa
Oh,
decided.
okay.
You did see that? She's like in playbacks on Instagram.
Yeah. So
No,
she's
no.
bullshitting.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
I saw like the first 10 minutes.
Oh, because last week we were very tired and went to bed. I never watched this episode until tonight, but yeah. So Kai basically saved Claire. He wanted to prove to her to get his loyalty or to prove that he was loyal or something. So he saved her from the block, and then put up Brittany to backdoor Brittany. And Claire's like, cool, you're a dick. You still put me up on the block in the first place. I watched you throw the competition to Alyssa so that I couldn't take myself off the block. Like, thanks, but no thanks, basically. So she's still not really good with him yet. She doesn't buy his bullshit.
Oh, pick me.
Yes,
Pick me.
Crystal.
So I have a question. I feel like I could probably take a guess and say Brittany cried.
She cried hard.
Yeah.
But listen, I gotta say, it's true. 4 out of 6 weeks she was nominated.
Yeah, it
Like,
is right.
It's emotionally draining, right? I
Yeah.
mean, every time, that emotion of being up on the block and
And
the
she thought she was
unpredictability of
completely
whether or not
safe.
you're going to go, right? So
Well,
it
I think
takes a toll.
I think she probably took it personally as well, because like I think that's the other thing. Like let's be honest, we know from her the whole thing on the show that she is on the spectrum, and I do find that they have a lot of people who have autism tend to have a little bit more emotional dysregulation kind of thing. So I think that probably played into it a little bit more. And maybe
But how
she
can
was
you not
bullied
take
as a
it
kid.
personally? Like, how can you not take it
You have
personally,
to,
really,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like,
that many times.
it's got a weird thing, right?
Yeah.
And to not be told, like to be told that she was going to be
Right.
safe
Yeah.
And then right before the ceremony, by the way, you're going up. So like I can see why she was like extra hurt this
Well,
week.
then it feels like a backdoor.
It was a
Which it
backdoor.
was.
Like 100%. But the thing that I do really like about Brittany is that like she'll be emotional in the moment. Like when something happens, like she faces her feelings, she feels it hard, but she can put that face back on and look at the bigger picture, which
Yeah.
I think is phenomenal. So she was
Yeah.
able to, even though she was nominated again, she was pissed off, she had her emotions, but she didn't sulk all week. She didn't
Yeah.
walk around and make everybody miserable and sit down and feel bad for herself. She was like, well, this is the game. Like, maybe I can turn it around, maybe I can't, but like, it is what it is. And I mean, spoiler alert, she did get evicted, but when she got evicted, she sat with Julie with the biggest smile on her face, and she did not take it personally. She knew it was a game. I mean, she did a little bit, she had a few things to say about Kai, but at the same time, I think that when it comes time for her jury vote, I don't think she's going to be a bitter juror.
No.
She'll have
No,
time
I think she'll look at she'll look at the big picture.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. So, but yeah, so he saved Claire, he put up Brittany. So now we have a conversation between Derek X and Claire that happened where they were talking about, I just watched this and I'm like reading my notes, remembering it because I don't remember, but Derek X and Claire want to send home Big D, and Tiff and Hannah are also in the room because 4 of them are talking about who should be sent home out of Big D and Brittany. And Tiff and Hannah are not having it. They want to stay loyal to the cookout. I made a couple of notes about the cookout feels like it's back going strong again. We might see a little piece crumble off again as tonight's episode plays out. But while I was watching that was the note that I made. I also said Xavier says that he won't put up Derek X. And Derek X knows that means he's going to be backdoored. So essentially Derek X and Xavier were talking, and Xavier said, if I win this competition, I'm not going to put you up. And Derek X is like, okay, maybe I should throw it to you. And they kind of made a little joke. And then Xavier in the diary room said, if he throws it to me, he's sealing his fate, because if I get it, like I'm backdooring him. But Claire is really smart, because Derek X was sat talking to her saying, Xavier said he wouldn't put me up. And Claire's like, but why is he saying that at all? Like if somebody is saying something, there's a reason that they're saying it. So she said, if he said that outright, he's not going to put you up. That means he's not going to put you up for nominations, and that he's probably going to put you up on a back door.
Her gut feeling and intuition, her and both Derek X really have it. They're starting to piece things together, which is quite interesting.
It's cool to watch, right? Like they essentially have the cookout figured out without officially having it figured out, right? Like it's very cool. Did I just skip a page? Yeah, I didn't write a whole lot on that episode, because my next note is they're going home speeches. Brittany did another rap, or she started another rap. And honestly, I was like, you know what? I would have just sent her home for rapping. I'd be like, you know what? That's the second time. First time, I get it. Second time in a save me speech, like put it away. Tell me why you need to stay here. Stop rapping. So I'm wondering if everybody was even planning on sending her home and they just changed their mind in the moment because she rapped for them.
No, I think she was the target once she was up on the block. I think earlier in the week, I think she probably knew she was going home.
Yeah. And like you said, you can tell, like the house changes, the dynamic shifts, right? It
drastically changes.
Note to Melissa.
Does what?
Future HOH, do not learn to rap.
Oh, no. Like I said, first time, cool. Okay. Yeah, I get it. But don't keep doing it. That's a one trick. Keep it as one trick, Yeah. I did have to say though, Big D's speech. He basically said, if you want good food and a clean house, keep me here. And I'm like, that's a solid speech.
No, it is.
Right. So the votes come in 7-1. Brittany is gone. And so Julie is just stepping up her game. Julie Chen-Moonves. She said, with a vote of 7-1, Big D, you are safe. And I'm like, his fucking heart must be like, when she says his name, his heart had to pop up to his throat. Yeah. Like there's no way, like, oh, she's playing with emotions.
Arissa done that a few times in our season. And it was like,
It's hard, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Did she do that with you and Kiefer?
She did. She said,
Yeah.
Kiefer, you are safe.
Oh, so
I knew I was going anyways, but
I was
Yeah,
gonna
exactly.
say,
still, yeah, that moment, Kiefer probably had that, right?
did
And
you
she
have
did.
a
She did
glimmer
it when
of hope?
Tara and Beth were on the block as well. She went, Tara, you are safe.
Right.
Yeah.
And you could actually see it in Tara's face at the time too. It was like just that couple of seconds of oh my God.
Yeah. Did everything just flip?
When you're voted out, is that worse? Do you know what I mean? To have that little teaser, like Kiefer, you are safe. It's like, thanks, Arissa.
For Kiefer, maybe. But like you say, I mean, like at that particular vote, I knew I was going home. So
Yeah.
it didn't surprise me either way. But maybe Kiefer for a split second thought that maybe things switched.
Yeah.
Who knows, right?
God. Or it kills me when I saw Julie do it. I was like, no, that's so mean. Like,
Switching it up.
Like,
I
I
love
like
it.
it. I like it. It's good TV, but I'm just thinking, like, in that seat, oh, that's got to be gut
Let's just give a last little bit of an anxiety, right?
Yeah, right.
Right.
Might as well let the house really fuck you up, right? Brittany did. I just kind of made a note that she's first person in jury, and that she went out with a smile. And the HOH competition. So, Crystal, did you see the HOH? Was that last week's episode or tonight's? Okay, it was.
she didn't.
Very cool. I'm
Did
watching.
you see the recap tonight though?
I saw like a brief split second, and then just basically what I did was I was late starting, so I actually fast forwarded through the recap, and I was just like, "Oh, SB got it."
She didn't watch the episode, and she didn't even get the recap.
The cheat of the very least that she could do, she still didn't do.
So, anyways, it was a balance beam type competition.
Oh.
Sarah Beth flew through it, like she
Yeah.
literally ran on it. And
Nice.
Derek X was like 0.0, what was it, 0.01 of a second.
Almost
Less. Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it was only because he tried to go the easy.
It sounds exhilarating.
Well, there was like thick balance beams that you could go and would obviously be easier.
What an
and
idiot.
really thin ones that you could go on. And Derek X started with the really thin ones because they had a shorter span to get across. So
Yeah.
Everybody was taking the
this.
same route. Yeah.
He fell off and had to reset and still almost beat her. That's what was crazy. If he had to go like the easier way, but the longer
same route everyone else was going. Yeah.
Yeah, it was wild.
I will go back and watch it tomorrow.
Mhm.
Sure.
Yeah. We all believe you.
No, I will.
Right, listeners, you should Instagram us and tell us how much you believe that Crystal will do that.
I don't care.
Oh, all right. So now we're into episode 20, not 19. I'm gonna
Are you
make a
sure?
note. I am now.
100%.
Global TV full Crystal. So this episode starts. Sarah Beth is the HOH.
Yep.
So right away, Kai's first thing he suggests put up Derek and Claire. Immediately, she's HOH for like a millisecond. He's like, you just put up Derek and Claire because he wants obviously the heat off of the cookout.
Yeah.
But yeah, right away, that was the very first thing he said. My next note is about Azah. I'm so ready for her to be the next person in jury. I know that she's not like on the block, but she's here's the difference with her and Brittany. So Brittany would be emotional in the moment when things would happen. She brushed it off, moved on. Azah sits and she's just sad about everything, like everything. She's really soft-hearted. So it seems like everything just breaks her heart. So like, Brittany was gone. Brittany was okay with it. She's out smiling, talking to Julie. And then Azah's in mourning the loss of Brittany.
But the thing about that is though, in her defense, she had to be very strong for Brittany several times leading up to that. So when Brittany left, it was almost probably a sense of, relief, a sense of guilt, a sense of, she just lost her kind of number one ally. So it all kind of came pouring in for her, and she didn't have to be strong in that moment because she was herself.
Makes sense.
But if you look at all the times that she had to console Brittany, she was very strong in those moments.
That's true.
Yeah.
She held it together and then okay. All right, I take it back. I do still want her to go home.
I think she just needed a moment to herself. Sometimes those things happen.
So do you think that moving forward now we'll see a bit of a stronger Azah, or do you think she's still going to be really emotional?
I hope that we'll see a stronger Azza. Honestly, I feel like, you know how like in your season, Tina, like we saw Braden kind of become a different player after,
Yeah.
say, Austin was gone. I'm hoping that that's what we're going to see with Azza.
It may, she still has Big D.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's going to fully happen until if he were to go before.
If he were to go. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think she needs to use the opportunity now, because the three of them were kind of their kind of own clique, we'll say.
Mhm.
Brittany, Big D, and Azza. I think now she needs to kind of utilize that time now that since Brittany's gone to start working on the other relationships, because you don't really see her kind of connect with the others too much.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or even the rest of the cookout, it
Yeah.
doesn't seem like, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like start
Which should
working
be a
on the
little
rest
bit
of
of a
your
warning
alliance.
sign. Yeah, it should be a little bit of a warning sign to her too, in the sense that, that should kind of tell where she kind of falls in that alliance. And it's not too late in the game yet to kind of develop the other relationships and maybe make the switch.
Yeah.
Very true.
Mhm.
Xavier, I made a note that he is playing such a great game. Like for the most part, he's sitting
Yeah.
well with everyone in the house and he's fully managing the cookout. Like he
Oh, yeah.
is the principal of that school. Like he's the puppet master of that entire group. He's the one keeping them together. He's the one, him and Tiffany are kind of like partnered in it because she's running the show a good bit too. But
Yeah.
like, I don't know, I think Xavier, spoiler alert, but for the most part is sitting in a really good position in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
An unfortunate series of events, but we'll
Mm.
get into that.
But like
Yeah.
the coolest series that like the what you want for TV, what you
Yeah.
want for
I know,
TV,
right?
but like
Yeah,
a
the last
heartbeat.
person that, anyways, we'll get to that
Well, yeah,
very soon.
that was, oh man. Okay, so now I have Big D and Tiffany talking about the HOH confrontation. Can we
Yeah.
let's rewind. So one time last week, Tiffany wanted to talk to Brittany about something. I don't even remember what it was. And
I don't even know if it might have been like
It might-
2 weeks
it
ago.
was a while
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Azza and Big D followed Brittany up to the HOH room, very confrontational, very
Yeah.
aggressive, and was basically like, okay, well, if you've got something to say to her, say it to me too. Like if we're all on the same page, there's no reason you can't say it to me. It was a bad move on his
It was more of, like they were being protective of Brittany at the time. And I get that because, maybe they felt that, she would say something that would kind of put a damper on Brittany, Azza, and Big D. But in saying that, Big D's in an alliance with Tiffany. So it almost kind of showed his cards in terms of his trust level for certain people within that alliance.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a bad move on his part to do that, because now it's gonna bite him in the ass.
Yeah. And here's the thing. So he's going to talk to her now. And she basically is like, well, we don't talk. Why do you want to talk to me right now? So now he's like, okay, I clearly need to smooth things over. So he's full on trying to say, okay, I was wrong and apologize. But it's almost like you say 2 weeks
It's too late.
Like,
Yeah.
where were you? And she called him out. She basically said, like, if I knew I did wrong, I would come to you immediately after it happened and apologize. Like, you're coming here now 2 weeks later. Why?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
She had many valid points.
she had,
She definitely
won.
did.
She won that
Yeah.
argument, like fully.
The only thing is that I feel like even like I appreciate the fact that she's a straight shooter and she had very valid points. I think the problem with the conversation is that she really probably should have kept a little bit of it in, even though she was really pissed off, and maybe let it kind of smooth over, but still keeping it in the back of her mind, because she's really kind of like wedging in between them, where she could have just let it smooth over and been like, okay, well, fuck you in my head. But
Yeah,
But in the moment when that actually originally happened,
How do you do
that Azza and Big D basically showed that they were more in line, or with they were more aligned with Brittany at the time, right?
Yeah.
So from Tiffany's perspective, you're looking at it saying, okay, well, you're supposed to be in an alliance with me, so
yeah,
like, okay, well, I'm done with you now, because that just showed your trust level. So,
Mm.
you know, things shut on and off pretty quick in that house.
I
Yeah.
bet.
I think the like a little bit to your point, Crystal, like her having a conversation with him, she didn't really give him a chance to talk.
No.
And like you say, she was in the right 100%. Like
Yeah.
100%, he should have came to her a long time ago. She was not having any of his apology. I definitely think that she needed to say what she needed to say, but maybe let him get a little bit more in as well, because like that's also where you get the information, you know.
Well,
So if
she
had
said
been a
it.
little bit more open to his apology or whatever, then she probably could have got a little bit more information, or like you said, like fake it till you make it with him a
Yeah.
little bit, so that maybe he thinks that they're in a better position so that she can still keep herself safe.
Well, I kind of just thought back to like a couple of episodes ago where she said to, I think, Xavier, you have 2 of these and 1 of these, so you should be doing twice as much listening as talking. But
Oh,
she
right.
was just full on, you know? And I understand that she was pissed. I get it, because there's lots of times where I say a lot of stuff that I wish that I could take back when I'm in an argument, but
never me.
what? That's never
Perfect.
happened.
Whatever.
But you, Tina, you ever say something you don't mean when you're in an argument?
Never.
No, we're perfect, Crystal. I don't
You
know.
know what though?
I mean, you know,
I feel like that's probably true for Tina.
I'm pretty laid back.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Mhm.
Although if the Big Brother house can't take it out of you,
That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
Like we
Yeah,
watched
alright.
her on TV. Come on now. She was pretty calm and collected.
It's true. That's true.
Ro said he was the calmest motherfucker in the house.
Mm-mm. No,
Mm-mm.
Ro blew up. Ro had a time where he blew up.
Yeah.
And he even said, I think when he blew up, I remember his blow up because he was like, I don't like acting like this, but you're pulling it out of me. Like I didn't remember who he was fighting with, but he was like, this is not me. Like,
The house does strange things.
yeah.
Yeah.
I believe it. Yeah, and then I got a note about Derek X and Claire and how they figured out
Oh yeah.
cookout without actually knowing that they had figured out the cookout. Like they
Yeah, but
named
they were like,
everybody in it.
they're like, imagine if there was like this alliance behind the scenes that's like this huge thing happening and we have no idea about it.
But the thing about it is now that they've kind of semi-pieced it together, now it's on the radar. So now
Yeah.
they're going to start looking at social cues, start picking up on all kinds of different things, and they're going to piece it together pretty damn quick now.
100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They're gonna notice, like, because that's one thing I always noticed. Like, I can understand like a 2-person alliance or even a 3-person alliance going like under the radar. But the thing that boggles me is the big alliances, because I'm like, how do so many people keep it under wraps? Like, when are like, isn't somebody thinking?
Well, they
something when
keep
you're
it on their
all
wraps.
alone?
They keep it on their wraps because each of them in that big alliance was associated with someone outside of that alliance.
Yeah.
So if you're just kind of lightly checking in together, you know, from time to time within the big alliance, then you're hiding the fact, and you're spending so much time with the people you're kind of aligned with outside of the alliance. It's a
Yeah.
smokescreen. So
Yeah.
you're hiding it well, right? So they're doing a good job hiding it. But Derek and Claire, they're
Very
They're
smart.
good players. I really like seeing more of Claire. Like I like
Yeah.
that we're seeing more of her actual gameplay. Like now I also understand her and Tiffany's friendship
Mm.
because they're both really good strategic players. I think that they're really observant.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I get it. Then we've got Sarah Beth thinking who she's going to put up. And she basically says she's thinking about nominating 2 pawns, which,
Mhm.
you know what? I think that's a really good strategy because this is her HOH, but she knows that there's potentially 2 people going to come down. So she could put up 2 big targets, get all this blood on her hands, and then both of those targets could be down at the end of the week. One of them would be replaced by a random draw, and another one could be blood on her hands again. So it really does make sense to put up 2 pawns as opposed
100%.
to, 2 big targets.
Well, like she has no idea who the potential replacement is when it comes to the game,
Mhm.
right?
Roulette.
So, I mean, like, why? At least if you put up 2 pawns, that eliminates them from the equation altogether
Yeah.
because you can't put them up again.
Exactly. Exactly. And even if the chopping block roulette didn't get won and used, then there's veto. And the
Yeah.
chances of like somebody winning the veto and using it, like a lot of times, if somebody doesn't have an interest in taking anybody off the block, but the HOH wants them to, a lot of the time, then they'll just go with what the HOH wants because then they feel like they're being a team player. So, you
Right.
know, if she say didn't win it, but somebody else won, she could potentially convince them to take that like somebody down anyway and then put up a big target. So it doesn't make sense to put up 2 big targets right away. And I definitely think that she did the right thing with her nominations.
Yeah.
So her nominations are, am I missing anything? Am I jumping ahead of you guys?
No,
No.
that's following my notes.
Me too.
Yeah, okay, Crystal took notes.
Oh, she actually has them in a book today.
That's right. Yeah.
How's your
I'm
hand?
impressed. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
I
Did
did
your
mine
hand
on the
turn?
phone.
I wrote it with a Sharpie.
My
Yeah,
hand
I noticed that.
too much. So you can see it well.
Yeah, because I wanted it to show up on camera. See?
Wow, look
I
at that.
believe that.
That is why I did it.
Yeah, I believe that. Oh, so chopping block roulette. Alyssa is the only one to play,
And she
and
wins.
she wins. Big
Right.
surprise.
Because she was the
Um,
only one to play.
She decided to take Derek F off the block, and by this beautiful turn of fate.
Random events.
Oh,
I mean, the one person she did not want that ball to land on gets
Brutal.
picked.
yeah.
Brutal.
So it lands, it goes around and around and around, and it lands on.
Did you see her
Xavier.
face though when she realized?
Oh,
Oh
she
my
left.
God, I felt so bad.
Yeah,
They
I
almost have
know.
been shitting themselves.
Yeah.
Well, because she also said numerous times in this episode and last episode that X is the only person she actually has in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, that's the only guy she trusts. It's the only person she feels like she can rely on. And she's the reason he's now on the block. If she didn't have to play at all, but I mean, that's the risk, high risk, high reward.
That's what
right?
it is.
Well, that's what it is, right? You know,
So
got-
yeah, she played, she takes Derek F down, and then Xavier is up sitting next to Claire.
I mean, you know, she guarantees her own safety. And I mean, you know, when you're in the house, that's what you have to do, right?
Yeah.
But
Yep.
it's unfortunate that it comes at the cost of, you know, potentially putting her closest ally's game at risk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Sarah Beth is still thinking about backdooring Derek X.
Mhm.
I think that is genius. I really think that such a good power move for her game right now, and a
Oh,
great
yeah.
thing for her resume if she makes it to final 2, her speech. If she could win veto herself for one, and if not, like convince whoever gets it to take down Claire and put up Derek X so that come Thursday. Now, I don't want to see it as a fan because I really
No.
like both of those players.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
in the house, that would be such a good move if she took off Claire and put up Derek X. And then Thursday, you've got 2 mega comp beasts, really strategic players.
It's funny because when you look back on like the episodes where they were kind of in teams, Derek X was in a very good position because, you know, he's part of the Royal Flush.
Yeah.
But once the teams dissolved, that whole concept just completely went out the
Yeah.
door.
Yep.
That was it. So I don't even really see him aligned with anyone that
Other
can
than
help
Hannah.
him. Yeah, that can really help him get further in the game.
Yeah.
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 And I mean, if she was to take Claire down and then the 2 of them are sitting there on the block next to each other, like I know that Hannah's aligned with him, but she's more loyal
to the
to the
cookout.
cookout as
He is,
well.
yeah.
Right. So everybody is going to save X over Derek X.
It would
Yeah.
be the perfect way for Sarah Beth to get Derek X out.
Yeah.
And it would also show that she was strong enough, because if you put Derek X next to Xavier, it's not a slam dunk because she doesn't actually know about the cookout.
No.
So like she would get credit for putting 2, even though she didn't put Xavier up, for there being 2 huge players sitting on the block. And no
Yeah.
matter what, one massive target is going to be taken out. So like, I definitely think that like resume wise,
Yeah, for
That
her
would be
game,
amazing,
yeah,
yeah.
for her individual game, it's definitely, and I think Kai is probably even gonna push that because
Yes.
He wants
wants Derek X out, right?
Yeah.
So
the only thing that I think would suck, and I would love it because I love Xavier. So like, let me be clear. personal Melissa and like game brain Melissa are two different people. So like the only thing that I think would suck for her game is if somebody convinced her or somebody else took down Xavier. Right? Like she could still backdoor Derek X. It would still be a great move, but I think it would be such a baller move if two of them were on the block come Thursday and one of them left. Like, you know, if she makes it to final two, that resume already almost writes itself.
I do have a feeling that they will convince whoever wins POV to take X down.
Yeah.
He's so well liked.
He's too cool with everybody.
And I think it's just going to come down to, who sits behind Claire, which at this point looks like Derek X.
And
depending on the competition, it wouldn't surprise me if X wins it himself. Like, and he just takes himself down.
Gunning. He's coming in for it. Like, and he's a strong competitor.
Yeah. So
we'll see. Really throw a wrench into it is if Derek X wins the POV.
But that's the thing. He's so good. Then what?
Then who
Claire goes home.
Well, then Claire goes.
Don't want that to happen.
No.
Well, she's your pick. She's the only one you got left.
She's the draft pick that I got pulled out of the hat.
Signed.
So do you guys think it was in her best interest to lay low like she did until she got to jury, or do you think she should have played a little bit more?
Who, Claire?
Yeah.
No, people who play hard at the very beginning are automatically the targets.
Exactly. But she became a target anyway as soon as she could get to.
She did, but did she become a target because she got that reward?
Right.
It wasn't because of her gameplay. Like, let's be honest here. Most of the time, she's been up the last 2 weeks. She was really just a pawn. Exactly. It's not like it was like we had nobody else to pick from.
Right.
That's what it was.
If she played harder, she would have been the target.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Because if she showed that she could win competitions, even though she wasn't at any risk whatsoever, then it would look like, oh, well, shit, we need to watch out for her now.
You're strong. Yeah, you're a strong competitor. You're going.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Whereas now they're just looking at her like, well, we have slim pickings here. We got to put somebody up.
Forgetting too, because if she was sat down and just kind of like floating, we'll say, through to jury, they're probably not even she could be a fucking comp beast. Yeah. But if she's just asleep, you know what I mean? Like maybe they're forgetting that she could even be a potential winner and they just assume she's going to keep losing everything,
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it is more strategic. I'm just curious because I'm watching season 5 of Big Brother Canada now. And Netta received like the same kind of thing. Like Canada voted that she's safe till jury, but she went and like won an HOH and she's like winning vetoes and like she's fucking playing because she wanted that on her resume. Now, don't tell me what happens because I know I'm 4 years too late, but I'm not, I don't know. We're not at jury yet in that season. So I don't know if she gets automatically put up as a target or not. I feel like that's what's going to happen based on your faces. So we're going to just come back to this.
I told you I don't have a memory. So
yeah, I don't remember what happened.
I'm obsessed with BB Can, guys. I'm sorry. I'm loving BBUS, but it's pretty crazy right now. Like I'm binge watching BB Can on the Global app. Like in between waiting for these new episodes because it's just wild. We'll talk more.
I'm impressed at your ability to watch TV.
Well,
or that much.
When I say binging, I mean like it's on while I'm doing
on the background. Yeah.
Nothing to do with working from home or anything.
Nothing.
All right. On that note, let's make our official predictions. So let's all go separately. Who's getting veto and who's going to be on the block Thursday?
Well, I mean, it depends on who is playing in veto based on the fact that right now, Claire and X obviously have to play.
Obviously, yeah.
Right. I'll guess X.
Crystal, are you putting on original white Blistex?
No, I'm just putting on regular moisturizing lip balm.
So it reminded me, I got like in the truck the other day. I know this is a side note. Yeah, because it's the same shape.
Is it?
I got into the truck the other day and this just reminded me of it, but like I had this distinct smell and I was like, when you smell something, you're like, it's so familiar. And I was like, oh, original white Blistex.
I know that smell.
And I could feel it. Isn't it a good smell?
It is.
Anyway. So yeah,
Reminds me of water.
That's my little off topic sidestep, but
Yeah, I was like kind of just completely out of left field on that one.
yeah, because she was
You
putting
know,
on
here we are
This is why
talking
you
about
should-
predictions and then goes right into Blistex.
Those things, yep.
Can I
Yep.
still sell it though? Because I'd like to get a tube of that.
Yeah, I think so.
Probably, yeah.
I'm gonna head to the drugstore.
I mean, could be different packaging, but you know, I'm sure it's
No,
there.
it's not the same unless it's that cream that like comes like you can't put too much on because then your lips are burning.
I told you, it smells like my mom. That's what my mom always used to
Cozy smells
use.
good,
Yeah, Joe knows what to use on the lips.
right? Okay, so Tina, do you have a prediction for this week?
For veto?
Yeah.
For veto. I'm gonna go with either Derek X or Xavier.
Yeah.
See, it's hard to choose when you don't know who's fucking playing.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, right?
That's the tricky part. So who do you think is going to be on the block Thursday?
I think it's gonna be Claire and Derek X.
I think so too. So I think Xavier's going to win veto. I think his ass is on.
I don't think he's gonna win veto. I think Kai's gonna put in a lot of work this week. I think there's gonna be people putting in a lot of work to get him taken
Xavier
down.
off.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
They've got good numbers, like with
They
the
do.
cookout and everything. I mean, you know, he's one of them.
Well,
so
in
there's
saying
still
that,
5.
If Derek X happens to win it, then he's not gonna use it because he knows he's gonna end up being a target unless they really pull like
But you know what? Derek X could use it to take Xavier down to be his shield for another week. Like, do you think he might
could
do
be,
that?
yeah,
Maybe.
could be.
Because like once Xavier's gone, then it's like it's Derek and Kai.
Yeah.
Right. So
And they kind of have this thing, the three of them, like, let's all keep each other safe as long as possible because we're all each other's shields. So,
Yeah.
you know,
like we already Derek is like, I already backstabbed Christian. So if everybody could just not do that to me, I won't do it to you guys.
Right.
yeah.
How can you trust him after that? He gained the trust back though. He's gonna have a good resume too.
He's very social.
He is, but I don't know if he's gonna get to the end now. I really don't.
Yeah, it's hard to say. He needs more numbers, but all right. Well, on that note, we might as well dance our way off because it's really fucking late and we got to get to bed. So I'm going to prop up my music and let's dance. We'll see everybody again on Wednesday.